Wow. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last minute office hour for the Farmers Market Count campaign Phase B, where we are twinning our efforts with the World Day on Rural Development. I am very happy to see so many of you here, hopefully with no questions because you've got it all figured out. But if you do have questions, you are lucky in that you have Manuel Camarucci, Julia Maggi from the Roman office, and myself, Richard McCarthy, the president of the World Farmers Markets Coalition, dialing in from Geneva, New York. We will begin our efforts. Hopefully, today is the second, tomorrow is the third, which is day one of our week to measure, to evaluate the relationship between the farmers and the market and your market. And this is an opportunity to capture some very precise information about how long they travel, who they are. And I know that we conducted a webinar, forgive me if I forget, I think it was a week ago. Hopefully you've had some time to look through the materials. And we are here to answer any questions that you may have, anything that we assembled that for us seemed very clear and simple, but of course it may leave you pondering, what did you mean when we said X or Y? So now is a great time to ask any questions.
Can I start? I will just like notify you. I'm going to speak Italian for 1 second.
Certo.
In questa sessione non abbiamo l'interpretariato, faremo la discussione, diciamo, principalmente in inglese, però qualora qualcuno dovesse avere dei problemi a capire, possiamo rispiegare la domanda e la risposta in italiano. Vale lo stesso per lo spagnolo, solo che non parlo spagnolo, quindi Manu, se vuoi fare tu questo annuncio.
Hola a
Magari
todos.
se volete la spiegazione in italiano o in spagnolo, magari o lo scrivete in chat o alzate la mano, così faremo del nostro meglio per far comprendere tutti.
Hola a todos. Queríamos decir que la conversación va a ser en inglés, pero que si no entienden inglés, no háganos saber, así que podemos traducir para vosotros. Ok.
We are ready.
So, we are ready. If there are any questions that you have, I'd love to know, maybe with a show of hands, have you opened up the folder? Have you downloaded any of the information, any of the PDF spread, PDF question sheets? Have you had a chance to look at them? Does it make sense to you? Are there any things that are not clear? This is a great chance for us to simply solve a problem that doesn't have to be a problem on the day of surveying. You can show your hand or put a chat in the chat box. Don't know if Julia.
Eccoci.
Ludovica, pregi. In questione?
No, I think she just said
Thank you.
while I was speaking in Italian. But first, I would like to say, because I saw that today someone asked us on on Instagram to put a post in collaboration with the World Farmers Market profile. The only reason I did not accept that post is because that one was the post intended for the day of rural development. So that graphic was mainly for July 6th. So I cannot post on our social that graphic yet, because we will release that one July 6th. So
Okay. But it'll see the light of day on July 6th.
yes.
Yes.
I mean, I can accept on July 6th, but it will not be like up on the feed as that post was made today. So if you want to do other posts and ask us to collaborate, if everything follows the farmer market count style, we will accept them.
I do see one really, really important question from Caroline at Grant Market in Copenhagen. And this could cause some confusion, so I'm glad you asked this question. We know, well, two things. We know that our farmers markets represent a great variety of sellers or vendors. Not everyone in a farmers market, this is maybe not true at Campagna Amica, but for many farmers markets around the world, not every vendor is the farmer. But when I say that, I mean that we have makers or street food, festival dining, preparation of food that still may come from the local territory, but the person who maybe bakes the bread or makes the jam, for instance, the jam maker may not be the farmer who grows the cherries, but they buy the cherries from a farmer and make the jam. Many markets accommodate and allow for this kind of food maker. In the unlike phase A, where you downloaded a spreadsheet and you filled out the spreadsheet and then you uploaded this, we've made this process one step simpler in that there's no spreadsheet. There is just the printout that you will mark up and then enter the information from your survey onto the Google form. One of the first questions on the Google form is how many vendors do you have in the market? So this is everyone. On the particular day, say July 6th, you are actually counting, all right, on that day, how many different vendors? There were so many farmers, so many bakers, so many gelaterias. I mean, you name it, you add them all up into your total number. And that is one of the questions at the very beginning. It's a general question about your market. But this particular study, what we are looking at is we're looking at the farmers. So let's say you have 10 total number of vendors and 6 of them are farmers. That means that on the day when you go through these very quick questions with your farmers, you're only counting and interviewing those 6 farmers, because the assumption here is that most of the value-added vendors who are not farmers probably come from the town, the city. What we are trying to do here is gain insight into the relationship between the market and the farmers. Who are they? Whether they're male, female, whether they are young, whether they are old, how far they traveled. These are the things that are of particular interest to our, most important set of people, our farmers. By farmer, what we mean is someone who grows the products they're selling, or they catch the fish that they sell, or they find the mushrooms that they forage, as long as they are dealing with a raw product that they touch and is part of production or harvesting, then they are farmers. So this does include fishermen. It does include wild foragers. And of course, it includes a farmer no matter how large or how small, if they grow the product, then they are the farmer. And importantly, this also includes honey. And even though it's funny to think about it, the bees are like the goats or the chickens on a farm. They produce a product, a very small product, but they are live creatures whom, we facilitate their products coming to market. I hope that is clear to everyone, and if not, I'm sure you can come up with examples that are difficult that, oh, what about this one? By all means, ask that. We know that many farmers do their own processing. So we're not saying we're not interested in them if it's a farmer who grows cherries and makes cherry marmalata. That's great. They are the farmer. Now, the good news here is that if, say, half of your vendors or 3/4 of your vendors are farmers, you're only having to interview and count, some of the total count of vendors. So it should be a little bit easier than, say, counting the biodiversity. The questions that we've asked are designed to go rather quickly, so you're only spending a few minutes of their time. Of course, the person you choose to interview, so if you go to a stall, one of your vendors, you know who is in charge. So chances are you are able to talk to, if not the owner, the family member or the person on the farm who's in charge of bringing the farm products to the market that day. Mostly that's who you want to speak with, but you also choose to speak with whoever is available to be, to give you 3 to 4 minutes of your time. Is that helpful, Caroline? Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And by all means, unmute. I see many people muted, which is great. But if you have a question, just speak up or raise
everybody.
your hand.
I have a question.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm Lisa from Rovigo, Italy. And I don't remember if you are already said that, but I'd like to know what will you do what will you do with the dates and the informations that we are going to get during the FMCOUNT, and when we will have this analysis?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, no. So we will be sharing we would like to have shared the biodiversity analysis, or at least intermediary analysis, with all of you by now. It has taken more time for people to upload the information, so there have been some delays, but I think in July we should be able to share at least the high-level analysis on the biodiversity. What's very exciting is it's amazing, the biodiversity. Our markets are really contributing to being a showcase for local products, and that's what the survey results showed us. The next batch of survey, which is on our farmers, we're going to find very different information. I think with the biodiversity, some of us have more biodiversity than others because it's different time of the year, it's a different climate. But all of it is similar news. It's just we are good for biodiversity. What we're going to learn here is that some of your farmers come from 10 minutes away, some come from 3 hours. This will tell us so much about the relationship between the town and the market and its nearby areas. And if farmers are traveling, on average 3 hours, why is that? Is it because there's no farmers nearby? Is it that the market is so good that farmers will travel that far? This will begin to give us information that we will share publicly and also importantly at our General Assembly in September at the FAO 80th anniversary, with all of the different people with agriculture present, our insights about the needs and the successes in markets, in providing a space for young producers, young farmers, for women farmers, for farmers who come nearby, who come from very far away. This will be information that we will share publicly. We will publish a report. We will produce small bits of information that'll be useful for you to share. And I think that our hope is that this will reinforce that the farmers market is the place where you learn about the food region and that we can inform future investment. I think the insights are going to be extraordinary in terms of painting a picture, not only of the whole picture of markets in Italy, markets in sub-Saharan Africa, but also the whole picture. And then what we hope that will be useful is when we share the big picture, this will provide you in your market with information that you can share with your local stakeholders and public policy people and your supporters as to what are the needs. And I think some of the needs we will find, especially from the survey and also the one interview that we ask you to do, is that one interview will give you insight as to how formal, how informal, how young is the enterprise. And I see the question that in terms of microgreen producers, yes, they are micro, but they are farmers. So by all means, Ecolocal, by all means, measure microgreen producers. And in terms of the days of when you that you are conducting the study, for one, this is a great opportunity to let people know in your market community that there is World Rural Development Day. And this is a chance to describe often perceived urban markets as being a city activity, is that we are here because it's an access point for rural development. So there is that communication opportunity. You do not have to conduct the study on World Rural Development Day, the 6th of July. If your market is on the 7th of July, of course you do it then. But it's in recognition and honor of World Rural Development that we are looking at some very specific questions which we think will tell us something about the potential for rural development. I hope that was helpful in the couple of questions that I saw come through.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Lisa.
while you were speaking, Manu and I were just dropping links in the chat to upload the day of the counting on the file, where to upload the results, so in the response log. So we are multitasking right now. Someone is speaking and we are sending links.
And importantly, the sheets that you will, the PDF, the A4 PDF that you can print out, is meant to be low tech and easy to use with a clipboard. So you bring it into the market with a clipboard and a pen, and you mark down with each one that you speak with what their numbers are, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it took them to come to market. And then when you finish the market day, you then go back into the quiet, cool of your desktop and the computer, and then you log into the Google form, and it should not take very long to upload the information from the two sheets. One is the survey of the market. The second is the interview with one farmer. And then we ask if you could take 2 to 3 photographs and upload those as well. One, the farmer you interviewed, 2, the products that they interviewed, and 3, the entire team who sell at the market. So these will be very useful, especially as you and we begin to put together the stories, because we know numbers count, But at the end of the day, what people remember more than the numbers are the stories. And we know that you have amazing stories of how the market incubates leadership and enterprises. So we hope this will help to shed light. And we also hope that it'll surprise some of your partners. It could be that the local cooperative extension of agriculture will be very surprised as to how far farmers travel. And again, we're not measuring it by meters or miles, we're measuring it by time. Like, how long does it take for farmers to come into town and come to market? There may be officials who will be very surprised that what people come, farmers come 2 hours to our little town, to our market. Huh, I had no idea. Well, this can open up some opportunities, conversations about, well, when they come to town, what else do they do when they come to town? Do they have lunch after the market? Do they spend money in town? Do they see family? I mean, it does provide opportunities to open up some conversations from the things that we hope that we learn individually in our markets and also collectively. In terms of well, we love as many photographs as you can capture, but we know that that takes time. So what we're thinking of here is to take a photograph of the one farmer you interview. So let's say it is a pig farmer who you interview. You'd want photographs of their product, photographs of the farmer you spoke with or the representative you spoke with, and then maybe of the group in their stall. So it's nice seeing the whole package of who they are. Now, Irene, you ask a very good question about interviewing the owners. We know from markets that are successful and farmers in markets who are successful often get to the point where the farmer, the owner, does not come to market or does not come to the market every time. So the person who is selling may not live on the farm, may not visit the farm often. Their only job may be to sell the products from the farm, which means they may not be able to give you as accurate of information, or the owner is so busy you have to speak to a farm worker or, a seller who's working. We trust your judgment to try and find the person who makes decisions, the person who's in charge. And that person may not live on the farm and may not have all of the answers to the questions that you have, but we think we've asked questions that are general enough that almost any of them could answer. They might have to turn to one of their colleagues and say, how long did it take you to come today? 45 minutes. Okay, well then there we go. But it is true. We know that I've visited markets where the farm hires someone from the neighborhood to work at the market, especially because they know people in the neighborhood and it ends up being helpful. That person may not know very much information. That tells us something too, though, in terms of the authenticity of the information. Julia?
I just wanted to step in as I saw the message that Janet sent about the photos of the farmers. Of course, we want to have pictures. They don't have to be like perfect images or anything, but I think that was perfect how you all did for the biodiversity count, that you just shared the pictures on the groups. And I know for a fact that you all hate me so much when I send you a lot of messages on WhatsApp. So I will try to don't text you too much, but I know that if someone starts sharing the picture, at some point we will have a lot of pictures because all the other people on the group chat that are doing the count wants to share like what they're doing. So I would love for some of you to start the picture shout out on the group so everyone can follow. Because also for this part I would like to do like the Instagram and like all the other platforms post about the counting with real pictures of what's going on inside the market. I cannot share all of the pictures because they are a lot, but I will find like the most or beautiful one or meaningful one or like something good to share with the community. But I saw all of your pictures regarding biodiversity and they were all good. If I was not posting them on social media, then we use them on the for the studio that we did. So all the material that you send us regarding like pictures or videos is not going to be waste. You know, we have everything on our server, so every time that we need to talk about a specific topic regarding the activity that we did, we have all the pictures. So you may not find them right away on our social, but you will find them later on. And something else, if you want, of course, for this like phase of the campaign, you can still rewatch the webinar regarding the photos and videos that we did for biodiversity. That were some guidelines or like suggestion on what to do. And I think there are also the slides on the webinar regarding that session that we did. If you have trouble finding them and you want to rewatch the slides or the video, just let me know and I can send you again the link. I know that that one where maybe some part specific to like the biodiversity on the slides, there were like maybe you can take a shot of that product. Of course, this time will not be the product, but the farmer.
People. Yeah. Are there any other questions? These have been very helpful questions and gives me the sense that we're in good shape. Amos, you have a question. I see your hand raised. By all
Yes,
means.
yes, not really the question, but just an input. We do appeal for the time from our end because as you learn, we have just started partnering with other entity within the market area, and we did see from last month that we posted some photos. So we are appealing to the team to give up to the end of July, at least by
Yes, we are.
that time
We
we will
may.
be able to, at least we'll be able to carry out the exercise. And for the team information, again, we will be collaborating with another agency on the 11th of this month, which we will still use the information to gather some data. Thereafter, then we'll be able to submit along with my colleague who is here with me in the meeting, a lady called Hawa. She runs the Women in Agriculture the organization. Over, sir.
Excellent. We will accept a study conducted on the 11th, even though that is the day after the week of studies. We are incredibly disciplined and we are also incredibly flexible. So we understand that we understand some markets don't operate every week, they operate every 2 weeks. The value, though, of us conducting the same study at the same time means we can compare information and organize that this is degree of scientific validity, and that is what we are hoping to do. So thank you, Amos, and also thank you for involving partners in this process, because I think that is one of the things that we know is true. We are spending so much time just trying to get the tents and umbrellas up every week. Just running a market is a miracle. to actually study the market that we run, we know it's asking a lot of you. We know that you may conduct your own evaluation for your own purposes. We're really grateful that you will join us in doing this shared evaluation, because what this will help us to do, and this comes back to your question, Lisa, at the beginning, is this helps us to project that farmers markets share something in common, that they are all bound by the same set of values and practices. And on these dates, we measure also our success using the same tools to measure. And this proves that we are a field. We are something that to be reckoned with. So you help to give us that that picture that we are a force. I don't know if Julia or Manuel, you want to ask again in Spanish or Italian, if there are any other last minute questions, because we know that we started late, and I apologize for that delay. But we also don't want to keep you on if there's no reason to keep you here.
I was
You're
muted.
mute.
Yes.
Of course.
Volevamo sapere se ci sono altre domande, se avete qualche domanda last minute da fare o è tutto chiaro.
Just
I think
just a quick one. Just a quick one, Richard.
Yes.
We do appreciate if the office from Rome, the head office or the World Farmers Market Coalition can help in linking, other countries to partners that the World Farmers Market is partnering with, that at least to help, like country who have never started or country on a slow progress list, at least to link them up with those agencies to help, build their strength to move faster, to be able to get in with other countries at the same level. For instance, like Liberia, we are partnering with FAO, the World Farmers Market Coalition at the top is partnering with FAO and another agency. They might be in Liberia, but then you as a smaller group trying to work harder to see how best we can get this market running is a lot of issue, because dealing with government and then finding your way through to the top is difficult. So we will appreciate that our partners at the top, you guys can talk with them and see how they can have that trickle down effect with the locals, NGOs, and other local partners that are trying to champion the world farmers market overseas.
Thank you, Amos, for raising that issue. I mean, one thing that we have to remember, and I know for some of you who have been operating for many years or in an environment that is supportive, it is almost illegal for many markets to operate. The environment is hostile, whether it's health regulations or permitting or zoning, or just the lack of interest that anyone would care that local farmers could find a place to sell the fruits of their labor. We know that it is a challenge. So this is why we join forces, so that we can make it easier and more appealing for you to operate, say, in Liberia, where maybe very, very little resources have been devoted to building the capacity of local markets. So thank you for raising that.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
So, Julia, do you see any Italians' hands raised?
No.
No. I'm very happy looking through who is here. I see Vietnam, I see Lebanon, I see Australia, I see Italy, I see the USA. Ricky, great to see you here. Very excited that you'll be joining this phase of the campaign. Barcelona, Ciao Vittoria. Fantastic. Are there any other questions? I mean, we hope that we made it. We hope that by the time we get to the third phase of the campaign, you'll be teaching us how to do it. I don't see any more questions. Jetty is ready. Fantastic.
Roger, 1 minute,
Yes.
just a quick one. Is it
Yeah.
possible that my colleague Hawa can introduce herself and say a little about herself and her organization? Over.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. If she
Is
can
it possible
participate.
that Hawa, the lady
Mhm.
from Liberia who just joined, or can give her a little brief about what she seemed to, and then publicly, at least for the team to know her?
Maybe that will be good when we do our reporting, because I think what we will do is hold a session when we come back and report on the findings. That would be maybe the right time to do it, if that's okay. Because I think we are winding up.
All right.
Well, thank you everyone for taking out some time on what I know is a busy market season. Thank you for bringing your clipboard, your pens, and your personalities to the market to talk to the farmers. We know that they're busy. They're not wanting to spend time talking to us about things that seem very strange to them. But bear with us. If you're able to pull this off, we will pull together some, I think, really compelling information that the markets are the fulcrum for territorial development, and in particular, the underserved rural development. And we will be bringing this data to the FAO 80th birthday, where we will have our General Assembly, and our audiences will be just the kinds of partners, Amos, at the national and the subnational and the international level, to begin to recognize that we are so much bigger than our little markets appear.
All right.
And that's what we hope to really communicate. So if any questions arise when you download the form and you start to think, wait, I didn't understand, you can always use the WhatsApp. We will be there ready to respond. And I have to say, during World Biodiversity Day that week, it was so exciting to see on the WhatsApp chat all the photographs that people were doing it. Keep it coming. Julia is she will consume as many photographs as you send, and we're very excited to share them with the world. Well, keep on doing the great work you're doing, and let's measure it, and therefore we get what we measure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.